Hey, Joe.
Hey Liz, how's it going?
Good. Excited to have you here today. And everyone here, good afternoon and welcome back to Plain Speak, the podcast where we bridge the gap between technology and customer support, bringing you insights directly from the leaders who are shaping the future of customer experience every day. Today, I am beyond thrilled to have Joe Wang join the show. Joe is the Director of Customer and Community Experience at Ancestry.com. And Ancestry is the largest for profit genealogy company in the world, operating a network of genealogical historical records and their website. And Joe leads the initiatives that engage user engagement and ensure that customers have deeply personal and satisfying experiences as they explore their heritage. Super excited to have him share a little bit of his experience with us today. I'm your host, Liz Tai, CEO and founder of High Operator. We're committed to revolutionizing customer support through our cutting edge solutions like High Auto, as well as our suite of self service tools like HiQ, which allow CX leaders of today to manage their teams and their CX programs in real time. Our solutions leverage a little bit of NLP, a little bit of generative AI, a lot of workflow automation to help leaders manage complex customer interactions, ensuring seamless and efficient support. To everyone tuning in, please feel free to engage us through the chat during the podcast, wherever you're watching this. Your insights and questions are such a big part of our conversation, and we'll try and address them during our discussions or follow up on LinkedIn after this session. And with all that preamble out of the way, I'm so excited to dive into our engaging dialogue with Joe on today's episode of Plain Speak. Joe, welcome again. How's your Wednesday treating you?
It's pretty good. A little bit of allergies. My voice is a little bit interesting right now, but I hope I'll be able to speak through the session.
Like pros and cons of summer. We're post Memorial Day. I'm excited for it to be warm here. Well, Joe, really excited to have you here, especially given your really sort of long, storied history into the world of customer support leadership. Can you share a little bit of that journey with us, where you started, how you got here, and how it's led to your current role today at Ancestry, focusing on customer as well as community experience?
Sure, Liz. So I started my career. I have a background in computer science, and I actually started my career as a software engineer for a few years.
Love
But
it.
but I quickly found out that it's just not where my passion is, and I really love talking directly to our customers, and I feel there's something rewarding that is about really knowing what customers need and figuring out how I can help them. So with this passion, I actually get a chance, get happy. I mean, lucky enough to have some opportunity to shift to a more customer centric role, and where I can really influence the product and services based on what the customers told us they need. So I've been pretty lucky enough to work at companies like Upwork and Ancestries, where it's really mission driven. At Upwork, I was able to help connect people to jobs in areas where jobs are really limited, and give them the opportunity to have a chance to provide for their family and better their lives. And now at
Yeah.
Ancestry, I'm helping customers finding their roots and sometimes connect with their family members they didn't know. And that just add more values and more depth to my work. So my journey is really all about finding real meaningful connection with people. So I think Ancestry served their purpose really well. I really enjoyed the time here. And I'm really grateful to have this role that help people connect with their past and shape their future. But after all, I think being in the customer experience is really more about solving problems, and is really about sharing the story that connect everyone. And that's why I
Yeah.
love what I'm doing, and that's why I'm here.
I love that journey. I feel like it's so unique to hear someone start in software engineering, really create that human interaction, and really crave, it sounds like, sort of problem solving on not just a prescriptive engineering level, but really understanding that entire customer journey. And it must be fascinating. We'll get to it later today, but in 2024, with all the tech coming into the customer service world, it must be really interesting sort of returning to your engineering roots a little bit in an unexpected
Totally.
manner. perhaps. And I love how when you really emphasize both Upwork and Ancestry, I mean, yes, there's a product where you can like punch in money and get something, but these also seem like products and experiences that are so much about the community, right? You mentioned with Upwork, it's allowing people to literally provide for their families. With Ancestries, it's literally connecting with their families,
Mhm.
which must put our customer experience in such an interesting, maybe challenging, complex, but also very impactful role. And so when we think about Ancestry, in a way, it seems to operate at this unique niche, right? At the intersection of technology, history, and personal stories. Talk to us a little bit about how you leverage community and what that community looks like to really enhance the overall customer experience.
Of course. So ancestry, community is not what we offer. It is really the population. It is really the core of the entire
Yeah.
experience a lot of customers are getting, right? And we provide a platform where people can uncover their histories and connect with others where the stories overlap with theirs. And this connection not only enriches the personal discovery processes, but also cultivate a sense of belonging among all of our users. And that's why a community is all about.
Yeah.
So at Ancestry here, I'm really looking into how, and I'm still very new to this role. I joined 6 months ago. So a lot of those are still being developed. But I'm looking into how we can use AI to help us understand our community better,
Yeah.
understand their behaviors, understand their preferences, which is really crucial for us to tailor our features, our service offerings, and a lot of our communication to our customers as well. And even though it's early days, the goal is really to use those insights to enhance not only the individual experience, but also strengthen the whole community as a whole and
Mm,
ensuring every interaction is meaningful, but also more importantly, connecting people, allowing them to share stories to each other.
yeah.
In addition to that, we also look at it from the community management perspective as well. And we're really looking into how we can change the way that we talk to our customers, engage our customers, so we can foster a more supportive, engaging environment for our customers. And figured out how we can really encourage interactions between our customers, community members, to
Yeah.
facilitate discussions and sharing insights to each other that can help them make most of our journeys with us.
Because it really is that deeply personal journey. Now, Joe, tell me a little bit more. I think many of us have, a passing understanding of maybe what Ancestry.com does and provides, but tell me a little bit about that community, because I know in the past when we've spoken, right, you have people who are coming onto the website for the very first time, but you also have, experts who know a ton about the subject matter, but maybe are new to the website. And I'm sure you have pros who have been on the website for a long time and built a lot around that. How do you think about meeting each of those different users where they are? And yeah, well, what's that spread of experience?
Yeah, I mean, there are many different kind of people with many different levels of knowledge in genealogy that join Ancestry. And I think as a platform, it is important and for the business, right? It is important for us to know who our core customers are, who
Yeah,
are the core audience that we want to serve. It is very hard for us to fulfill the need for everyone and make sure that we are able to cater to everyone's need. So what we do here is we cater to our core customers first. We
okay.
want to make sure that our core customers, who a lot of them has really strong genealogy knowledge, who knows how to use Ancestry, who really are very interested in finding their roots, and a lot of them also are willing to want to share their glories to their ancestors, to their the kids, to their grandkids as well. Okay? So we cater to their needs first, making sure that they are really able to leverage our platforms to find the information they need, to find the records they need. With that, then the hope that I'm drafting right now here, the strategy that we're taking right now here is how can we leverage those people to educate people who are less familiar with
Very
ancestry, who are less familiar with genealogy, who probably are not as comfortable using a lot of those features that are more advanced on our platform to find the information they need. So start to create these connections between people who are core customers who know our platform a lot to those
Yep.
people who don't, and really figure out how they are able to share their journeys together, figure out
Yep.
how they can build emotional connections together as well through our platform, not just sharing knowledge, right? And through this journey, allow those people who are less familiar with Ancestry, allow those people who are not as comfortable with genealogy to start to join Ancestry and leverage Ancestry to find their root, to discover their experience.
I love how it's just experience first, because really with Ancestry and Upwork, I think what I'm hearing is if you're coming to one of these platforms, you're either implicitly or explicitly looking to make connections, right? Either
Mhm.
at Upwork connecting with either freelancers or potential employers. And then on Ancestry, you're really looking to learn about your genealogy and your fabric. That's super, super cool.
Mhm.
So maybe sort of bridge back a little bit to your original beginnings in computer science. What are some ways where you foresee using AI and automation to transform that customer experience at Ancestry? Maybe voice of customer or that experience.
Yeah, it's a crazy time. I don't think 2 years ago we'll be talking about what's gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
And I feel with the advancement of the technologies, just opened us so much more doors for us to explore how we can leverage AI to improve the experience as a whole. So there's several things that we're doing, but I'm actually going to talk about some of the wish lists that I have.
Yes.
And I believe with with the improvement of how fast the technology improve, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get there very soon. So,
Okay.
so the first one is kind of similar to what I mentioned before. How can we use AI to get a deeper understanding of our customers? Really get the voice of the customer. And it is not just about categorizing what customers tell us through our customer service interaction. It
Yeah.
is also about combining it with their behaviors on our platform, and figure out a true needs that our customers have, even if they're not expressed. With this understanding, we will be able to tailor our services. We will be able to tailor our features. We will be able to potentially proactively intervene when we detect the customers are getting into some kind of issues. And that
Yeah.
leads to my second one, right? A very proactive, a very proactive, I wouldn't call it a chatbot, like maybe an AI assistant that's
Yeah.
integrated, that's integrated with our product. Right
Mhm.
now, a lot of time, if you need help with a product, you have to go to a help center, or you have to go Google it, or now I do it sometimes in ChatGPT as well to find
Mhm.
answers. So if we are able to have integrated experience that help our customers anytime they need help and doing a very proactive way to our customers, I believe we can also greatly enhance our customers' experience as well. Is again no longer just about reactively waiting for our customers to ask us if they have any questions. Um, it is about proactively detect whether we believe that through the behavior analysis whether they have experienced certain kind of hiccup in our product that we can proactively intervene with AI. The
Sounds
third
like the
one
dream.
yeah, and the third one is more on the operational side, right? How can we also use AI to give our customer service agents a boost in the experience they will provide to our customers, as well as potentially the handling time as well, so we are able to be faster, right? Can we
Mhm.
can we just analyze our customers' conversation on the fly and show answers to our agent right away, so they're able to provide this answers to our customers right away? Or can AI proactively handle a lot of automation or a lot of processes that this agent has to do in the past manually? So
Mhm.
agent can focus more on interacting with our customer, building the personal connections, instead of spending a lot of time doing a lot of those behind the desk work. And of course, one more thing that I would love to do, and we're kind of exploring here now as well, is to figure out how AI can analyze a lot of those interactions on the fly as they
Yeah.
happen, right? So, we're human beings. We do make mistakes. And same as our front-end agents, and a lot of them are not on purpose, right? Sometimes you deal with so many things, you will make mistakes here and there.
Yeah.
How can we leverage AI to quickly identify those issues while it's happening, and potentially either alert their managers so they can intervene if it is severe, or categorize a lot of those insight analysis as something that we can then go back and look to see how we can change our strategy, how we can
Yeah.
optimize our processes, how we can improve our trainings, how we can tighten our compliances, etc., to make our service better in the long term. So those are really the thing that I'm thinking about here at Ancestry. But ultimately, it is really figuring out, not just think about like how I can deflect cases, how I can, have chatbot handle as many cases as possible. It is really to think about how I can improve the service experience, but also the product experience, and more importantly, how I can integrate those two together so it become a cohesive experience to our customer. It's no longer here's your product, here's your customer service. You go figure out where to find your customer service if you need help, right?
No, it feels like we're finally living in the future, because I feel like in this support space, we've been talking about, okay, it's not just customer support, it's customer experience. You really have to connect. Support doesn't start just when the customer reaches out. Experience really starts the day they first interact with the product. And a
Yeah,
lot of
so
what's
yes,
exciting about what you're saying is it's finally possible. Sorry, keep
exactly.
going,
And
Joe.
Ancestry is online. It's an e-commerce platform, right? So we're subscription based. So when customers need support, and if we are not able to provide them a good service, if we are not able to continue to carry on the great experience they're getting from Ancestry platform to our services, chances are they might leave. Chances are after they leave, they might never come back. Right? We have a lot of repeat customers. We have a lot of customers. So even if customers call us and want to cancel their account, we want to make sure that they got a great experience. We want to make sure
Yeah.
that they want to come back when they feel the need to use the platform again. Right? So that's why experience is extremely important. And it is really not just about fixing the issues. It's really not just about treating a lot of those customer inquiries as numbers. It is really about trying to think about after those interaction, what will customers do with your platform? How can we continue to increase the engagement in the long term? How can we continue to maximize those customers' value for the for the company through providing a great experience to them, and make them want to come back, make them continue to have the loyalty to our brand.
Yeah. Yeah, because and Ancestry and really Upward, these are things that can really follow a person's entire adult lifetime, right? So how do you provide that value? And I love your focus on the experience, because you're right. It's not just, and I do think, look, it's easy for support. Customer service agents don't make mistakes on purpose, right? Anyone who has not been a customer service agent for 8 hours straight a day, try it and see what your accuracy rate is, right? But because there is always the most urgent thing, right? Which often is the customer who's calling or emailing or chatting in. I think in a world before automation, it was very easy for CX teams to, you have to deal with that every single day, right?
Mhm.
That is often the top priority issue. And I think what I'm hearing a little bit you say is, well, it's really exciting to think about, well, what are those routine inquiries that we can automate? So the customer support team is not stuck on a daily treadmill of just how do we get through that entire queue before they can sort of zoom out and think about everything else that they're working on. Because, by the time a customer gets to cancellation and has trouble canceling and reaches out, what you said at the beginning was really interesting. What are all the data points that you know about the customer before they get there, where you could have better designed the experience or better handled that before they reached out? And it's exciting to start to see tech that can start to synthesize all of that.
Exactly. It is not just about thinking about like, hey, here's what I do, A, B, C, and D steps. Let me
Yeah.
automate the A, B, C, D steps. It is really about thinking about, hey, now I have a technology there, how I can leverage it, how I can start to redesign, rethink my processes, rethink how I should work with this new technologies to maximize the value that this technology can provide. Right. I remember when we talked last time, you mentioned that when people back in the day when people wanted to travel fast, they didn't create a faster horse or some robotic horse. They created a
Yeah.
car, right? And they create a whole ecosystem surrounding the car. They have gas station now. They didn't have before. They so same thing with AI, right? When we are thinking about AI, it is really not just about,
Yeah.
okay,
What do
here's
you
what I
solve?
do. Exactly. Let me use AI to exactly replicate the experience. It's no longer like that. It is about how now with AI, how people are going to interact with it. What is the
Yeah.
difference? Understand the behavior differences, understand the mindset differences, and start to design your other systems or your processes surrounding it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be really, I think, so exciting to see what the future looks like, right? 'Cause I think maybe the last first generation of AI automation tools were a lot of that, right? What do we do today? What can we immediately switch out and replace with a robot, right? And there's
Right.
value to it. There is value to, a human agent who is the expert being able to conduct sort of these different automations. But I think it'll be really exciting to see what the redesign looks like, right?
Mhm.
So I almost see it sometimes as customer service is like digitizing, right? In a way that like ads digitized when they moved from like billboards and magazine ads to, the internet, right?
Mhm.
And exciting because it allows for a much higher degree of customization, of flexibility, and you can iterate way faster. And so I'm excited to, and I don't have a good answer, maybe you do, excited to see what that really looks like once customer support can lift their heads from the daily ticket deluge and think about that redesign.
Yeah, I think it's happening. I don't know if you get a chance to look at the new Google and OpenAI demo. They blow my mind, right?
Yes.
And it's funny that they initially OpenAI used the voice of Johanna, the voice
Allegedly,
of her.
Joe.
It's not right. But before I realized it, that's exactly what I told myself. I was like, oh my god, this is just like her, and
Yeah,
not just the voice, but the interaction as well. And I think ultimately, when designed right, AI is probably gonna be a big part of customer journey moving forward, a customer service journey moving forward, and you might start to interact with more and more AI without even realizing it, and that's fine, right? But I think one thing that we have to think about, especially leaders have to think about, is how you can also start to manage that change within your
yeah,
team, not just
yes,
on the process side, but also on the mindset side. And also, how can we start to up level our agents? How can we start to up level the interpersonal experience that they can provide to our customers?
hmm
So they no longer spend a lot of time understanding and remembering the processes or handling all those manual things, but really focus on building the deeper impersonal in relationship with
yeah,
customers, especially when customers come to you instead of AI.
makes
And
sense.
but also with all those changes, we probably also need to think about how our KPIs might change. Is
Yeah,
CSAT still the right KPI? Um, what other things can we look into to help us measure the success of our chatbot? Right.
yes.
So yeah,
LTV. I'm so excited.
yeah, many different things, but yeah, like I said earlier, it's super exciting time, and I'm really glad to be in this era.
Definitely. Now, you said something really, I think that's top of mind for a lot of CX leaders today, which is around up leveling your team and getting your team really like maximizing them by getting them to the right place in the process. They shouldn't be doing arithmetic. They shouldn't be clicking cancel 1,000 times, right? what are your thoughts on that, Joe? Because look, you have an advantage. You are coming from software development, right? You have those quantitative and technical skills to run the whole ship, which is awesome, right? I think a lot of CX leaders are starting to think in a much more technical, tech first way. But do you have any pointers on how to think about up leveling a team, or maybe things that you found helpful or frameworks to keep in mind on that front, perhaps?
Yeah, I think first of all, identify those who are interested. Identify those talents who really want to grow. Um, and based on my experience, a lot of people do customer service not because not because they this is a job they can find, right? But a lot of them really because they love this interaction with customers.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are eager to grow. A lot of them really want to help companies to be successful. So
Mhm.
first of all, identify those. Those are the people that you really can start to think about how they can grow into either someone that can create amazing experience and take them one step further they were not able to do in the past in
Yeah.
interacting with your customer. But there might also be other people that you want to start to develop their technical skills and hard skills as well in other areas that we will need in operating a great AI in the
Mhm.
in the company, right? Um, and so again, identify those people, try to understand their interests as well. Like, I'm all about doing things that I love, and I'm a true believer that everyone will do better in their job when they're doing what they love.
Yeah.
So try to match those people who are interested in going to learn more of those technology things or technical things and start to develop them, start to give them opportunities to get involved in certain projects. Um, Maybe not full time, right? But maybe 90% handling call, 10% try to
Yeah.
start to explore in those new projects and slowly add time to those things to help if they prove that they're capable, if they prove that they're really interested in those things. Um, and then I think ultimately think about how what do you really want to achieve and make sure that the team knows where you're marching toward as a company using technology, using AI. Help them change their mindset as well. Right?
Mhm.
It's not just about learning. It's not just about identifying people to do different things. It is really start to try to train them to work with AI. Start to train them to train our customers to work with AI, and that whole mindset change all need to start with having a very clear goal of what you want to achieve, having a very clear missions of what this team is going to be about in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really that how is AI and automation complementary? How do they ride along with the team to achieve that goal? And that's super exciting because I almost wonder if, well, customer support, I think, is a from a technology perspective, it's a very exciting place to be right now. And I almost wonder if all of the generative AI is actually going to be a bit of an equalizer, right? So I spent the previous part of my career in physical commodities trading. And when I was like, I'm going to be a trader, they said, that's great. You're going to spend the first couple of
Mhm.
years in operations, booking things so you know how things actually work, because that's sort of the path. And I'm excited to, I think, see the new talent in the world of customer support, excited to come in, excited to grow and see what that future looks like. Now, before we wrap up, Joe, and leave people to their lunch, do you have any last, I know we've covered a lot of it, but any last thoughts on major trends that you see shaping the future of customer experience, particularly in community and online platforms like Ancestry?
Yeah, I think with the AI and all the technology development, people really start to rethink customer service as something that is not about deflecting cases or solving issues, but enriching customers' journey, enriching customers' experience. And a lot of conversation that I'm hearing right now is really about improving that engagement that customers have with the product, in addition to having a great customer experience or having a great CSAT. So yeah, I think it's all about creating experience. I know I keep saying it, and it is not just about satisfying. our customers need, but also create this really deep, engaging interaction with our customers to make the entire platform or to make your product a really positive, enlightening one. So yeah, again, like I said earlier, very exciting time. I'm glad to be here, sharing what I think about AI, and I can't wait to see what AI can do for customer service and to improve the experience our customers are getting.
I love it. Excited for the future, Joe. And
Very
thank you for joining us here. We often do a rolling question of the week for our next guest here. If you could ask a CX leader anything from your experience, what would you ask?
Yeah, I have one question. So I would love to ask the next guest, from his or her experience, what are the most effective strategies for fostering a culture of innovation and creativity within the team?
Love it. Excited to see that answer. Joe, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's early on the West Coast there. It's been so much fun and really insightful to just delve into how you and Ancestry House integrate technology and customer insight to create meaningful experiences for users who are really reaching out about a deeply personal and exciting subject. Thank you for joining us, sharing your insight, and for your dedication to enhancing customer, community, and experience. Everyone else joining us, thank you. Join us for our next episode of Plain Speak on June 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be talking to another CX expert on their insights. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time.
See you. Thank you, this.